Let's start with a question. A pretty haunting image, actually. A world that looks perfect on the outside. A gleaming, smart city where data flows seamlessly. But the human heart, the connection between us, has been completely hollowed out. What happens when a system built for efficiency forgets what it's all for?
Okay, so let's dive right in. Today, we're going way beyond just feeling a little bit better. We're exploring a blueprint for rebuilding from the ground up. This is a journey to unearth something absolutely essential that our modern world, well, in its rush for efficiency, it seems to have buried. Our fundamental reason for being.
To move forward, you've got to understand what you're leaving behind. And the source material for this calls it the old world's echo. It's this fading blueprint that was built on a really deep misunderstanding of what it even means to be human.
I mean, just look at this. The difference in these two views is it's staggering. On one side, you have this cold, almost mechanical view of people. A workforce is a depreciating asset, something to be used, and then it loses its value. But on the other side, humanity is a vibrant tapestry of souls. This isn't just poetry, you guys. This core belief changes the entire design of a society.
And that old worldview, it created something the source calls the me trap. You know that feeling? That frantic, fearful scramble where it feels like everyone is just fighting for their little piece of a shrinking pie, constantly looking over their shoulder.
And this trap, it fuels itself. It's a vicious cycle, right? First, it pits us all against each other, this constant competition for jobs and money. Then, it gets in our heads and convinces us that our entire identity is just our job title, completely stripping away our inherent worth. And finally, it defines success not by our happiness or our connections, but by how much power and profit we can stack up.
And this quote, wow, it just nails the fundamental mistake of that old system. It got obsessed with measuring the container, the job title, the bank account, the status, but it completely, and I mean completely, ignored the contents. It valued the box more than the incredible human being inside it.
Okay, so that's the problem. How in the world do we break free from that cycle? Well, this is where we get to the solution. And it starts by unearthing a really ancient blueprint for purpose, a Japanese concept you might have heard of called ikigai.
Ikigai is, put simply, your reason for being. It's so much more than a job. It's that beautiful sweet spot where what you love, what you're good at, what the world actually needs, and, yeah, what you can be paid for all come together. It's the reason you want to jump out of bed in the morning.
Now, here's a fascinating twist. We hear so much fear around the AI revolution, right? That it's a job killer. But this material reframes it completely. It sees it as a catalyst for our liberation. The source even calls it a divine extraction, freeing us from all that soul-crushing work we were never meant to do.
I mean, think about it. For generations, society has basically forced us to focus almost entirely on that last circle. What can you get paid for? But as AI starts automating more and more of that stuff, we are suddenly, and I think beautifully, forced to ask those other, much deeper questions. What do I actually love to do? What am I uniquely good at? And what does the world genuinely need from me?
And what's so cool is that once you start to discover your own ikigai, you realize pretty quickly it doesn't exist in a vacuum. Which brings us to the next massive shift in our thinking, moving from a me consciousness to a we consciousness.
This shift is captured so perfectly in the African philosophy of Ubuntu. It's this simple but totally world-changing idea. I am because we are. It's a powerful reminder that our humanity isn't some solo project. It's something we find and build together, through our connections with other people. The source uses this incredible metaphor of a universal puzzle. Every single one of us is a unique, one-of-a-kind, totally irreplaceable piece. If your piece is diminished or if it's missing, the entire picture, the whole puzzle, is incomplete. That old world focus on individual competition, it shattered this beautiful image. This new way is all about putting the puzzle back together.
And this is so important to get. This isn't about sacrificing who you are or getting lost in the crowd. It's the exact opposite. It's about expanding your identity. Your jewel within, that unique essence, your ikigai, it doesn't get dulled when you connect with others. It actually shines brighter when it reflects and is reflected by the light of everyone around you. Okay, so we've looked at the problem, we've looked at the core concepts for the solution. Now let's put it all together and actually look at the blueprint for this great transition. All right, this slide is everything. Just look at the contrast here. In the old world, your identity was, I am my profession. In the new one, I am a piece of the universal puzzle. In the old world, success was all about accumulating profit.
Now, it's about the flow of what the source calls the thread of love, the value we create through real connection and contribution. And society, it goes from being a bunch of separate individuals to an interconnected whole, guided by that spirit of Ubuntu.
I mean, this quote just says it all, doesn't it? It is a radical shift in what we value. It's suggesting that the entire individualistic, competitive system has to give way to a new one that's based on connection, contribution, and that fundamental thread of love.
So, understanding this blueprint is one thing, but actually living it, well, that's the real journey. So let's turn this all from theory into practice. This isn't just an idea to think about. It's an invitation to a trial, a first step for you to take.
So here it is, your first practical action taken directly from the source. It's called the Ikigai Inventory. I want you to actually do this. Get a piece of paper, draw these 4 overlapping circles, and then just take some time and fill each one out with total, brutal honesty. No judgment. The goal isn't to find some perfect answer today. It's just to start looking, to see where these vital parts of you begin to overlap. That spot in the center, that's where your Ikigai starts to show itself.
And that brings us to the final thought I want to leave you with. You know, in its relentless push for automation and efficiency, the old system, it kind of messed up. As the source says, it accidentally left the door wide open for us to discover something so much deeper. It has forced us to look beyond the paycheck and toward our real purpose. So the only question left is, how are you going to step through?